Hello there! Happy Civic Holiday Monday for those of you in Canada. It is the 6th of August and today is Mudra Monday. So I pulled a card, but I also have a second card. So if this one does not resonate, let me know, because this is definitely a grounding card. It's a card about tranquility, emotional ease, and calmness. This hand position, the mudras all are about, hey Ben, the mudras are about hand positions, and when you hold your hands in particular positioning, hi Deborah, then it's as though we can allow the energy to flow through our body in a different way. So this is about releasing stress and releasing any stress in your muscles as well, because it can help like decrease extra contraction in your muscles. Happy Monday. It can also support your reproductive system, because it does, the red cards tend to be about grounding, so they're connected to the areas of the body that are connected to the earth, so the root chakra. This also has to do with your digestive system and how you release things, so physically your bowels and your kidneys, but as well as how you release things. Like mentally we're doing a lot of release, and emotionally we're doing a lot of release this month as well. This can actually reduce your blood pressure, which is kind of cool, because it does bring on calm and tranquility, and it can cultivate a sense of calm and wholeness. So what I'm doing is reading what's on the back of these cards. These are a really cool mudra deck that I picked up at Spirited Gifts in Langford, British Columbia. So the element of this card is earth, and the way that they suggest that you do the actual mudra is to cup your left hand facing upward. So my left hand is over here, so cupping it upward as though you're holding water or something within this hand, and your right hand is actually facing down in a cup position. And in this position it's kind of funny, because this actually looks like you're cupping your belly, and you are placing like one hand at the lower part of your belly and one up sort of at your solar plexus, or at your like digestive area where your diaphragm is, but you don't actually want to cup your belly, but you can rest your hands against where your belly is. And what this does is, in this position you want to get into relaxed shoulders, and you want to get into lengthening of your spine. And the focus for this, so it has an affirmation, they all have affirmations that go with them. The focus is, I open to receive calmness throughout my body and my mind. So this is important. So that was left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top. This is important at this point in time, because we do have a bunch of planets that are still in retrograde, and we have one more eclipse at the new moon that's happening on the 11th. And after that happens, it's as though not necessarily our ability to release, but our forced release from the universe is actually going to be decreased a little bit. So we're having one more push throughout this week for us to release things, to communicate in a different way, to connect in with more alignment in the form of how we're, hi Jessica, in the form of how we're acting in our 3D world, and trying to line that up more with how we are thinking and believing and how we're feeling within ourselves. We're actually lining up our lights and our darks, and we're allowing ourselves to feel emotions in a new and a different way. So you want to be receptive to allowing yourself to be in a position where it's okay for you to feel angry. It's okay for you to feel sad. It's okay for you to feel what you're feeling. And then you get to decide from this more tranquil and calm place how you want to act out those feelings, because you have free will. You can act them out any way you choose. And we all have that darkness within us, but we all have the lightness as well. And so the idea of the eclipses and all of these retrogrades that are happening are about us connecting into who we are, connecting into acting out who we really want to be in 3D, in real life. So connecting into this, if this does not resonate, let me know, because I also picked up another card that has to do more with your inner work, and that one might be more appropriate. But this is your left hand cupping below, around where the bottom of your belly is, your right hand on top, also in a cup position, and allowing the energy almost to swirl in that spot where you're asking it to create some ease in your digestion, where you're actually asking it to be calm and to be tranquil, and to allow the energy to flow through that area. I know many people end up having, I have the same stone on my necklace. Oh, this one. This is labradorite. It has to do with expanding your intuition. The receptivity, notice that it's an 11 as well. And when we look at the 11, the way that I like to see the 11 is it's ones, which means it's independence. It's you moving forward. It's you deciding who you want to be and how you want to act. It's you tapping into yourself. But if there's two 11s, and that makes me think it's a connectedness in a connection with who you are in a human level as well as who you are in a spiritual level, and we actually connect those things and create a sense of wholeness, then it's as though we can wrap that infinity sign around those things, because we know that we are spiritual beings in human bodies, and there's more to us than just what we see and what we feel and what we experience in 3D. And if we connect into that spiritual expansion and that place of inner knowing and that place of inner calm, then it's as though we receive more. We're more receptive to the things going on around us. We're more receptive to how we want to act and who we want to be, what we want to have, what we want to create. And it's just this place of being just really connected and really grounded in who you are at a soul level and a human level. So one of the things that I'm helping people with, starting on the new moon, which is the 11th, and going for 11 days, is releasing resistance. So I'm calling it the Ditch Resistance 11-day challenge. And so what we're doing is going through all of the different ways that your ego, your human self, can create resistance to stop you from moving forward. And what happens is it's interesting because it goes through like a flight or fight, right? And so we are beings that have been, through generations and generations and generations and generations, and we had to worry about what we were going to come into contact with when we went out to get our food and when we went out to find things in order to keep us warm and to build houses and all of that stuff. So we have been in that fight or flight stage or state for many, 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 many lifetimes. And in this lifetime, it's really as though we're coming into this reality that we are soul beings and human beings, and that connectedness allows us to act in a certain way that can actually move us forward and expand us in ways that we haven't even imagined yet. And so the cool thing about that is resistance often comes up when you're trying to get outside of your comfort zone. And when you're trying to get outside of your comfort zone, your ego is like a beautiful being, and your ego says, no way, no way, no way, we're not doing this. We promised you at age 3 that we would never let you, do anything that made you feel embarrassed, or we would never let you do anything that felt like you would be disappointing others, or whatever it is, right? You have all of these things that your ego's like, no, 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 you told us not to ever let you do that again. So your ego will stop and create resistance if it feels like you're leaving your safety zone or your comfort zone. And that doesn't serve you when you're trying to grow a business and when you're trying to build relationships that are deep and different and inspiring and all of these things, right? That's making the hair on my arm stand up for some reason. And so it's interesting because when we create resistance, or when ego helps create resistance to prevent us from leaving our comfort zone, it's literally as though we get into flight mode and we want to turn around and go back into our comfort zone. And so if you know what those pieces of resistance actually look like, then you can have a conversation with your ego that says, I know what you're doing. How about we get you on the side of our higher self and actually create something together instead of allowing you to drag us back in our comfort zone, which is, where we don't really necessarily want to be in order to create growth. So I'm going through in this 11-day ditch your resistance about how that functions, and about how you can actually notice when your ego is stepping into a place of creating resistance and stopping you from leaving your comfort zone, because it's as though I think there's about 10 of them, about 10 different ways that your ego does this to create resistance. And if you know them, it's literally like you can say, okay, ego, I know you're trying to help me, but I need you on my side in order to actually create and expand and grow and do all these cool things we want to do. So I am having that 11 day starting on the 11th, and it's $11 for the challenge. And it's in a separate Facebook group, so if it's something you want to join, awesome. So connect in with you, connect into what it is that you want to create after the new moon, because we're getting to that point where we're releasing all of the stuff we don't want, and now it's going to be time to call in all of the stuff we do want. What do you want to create? What do you want to have? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to serve? So make sure you're starting to think about those things as you're releasing stuff this week if you haven't gotten into that place yet, because the new moon is fantastic for new beginnings, and also this August energy has a lot of ones to it. It's obviously the new moon is happening on the 11th, and that's a double one, and it's really a new beginning energy. So we're ending an old cycle and we're starting a new one, and we're building and creating something new. I really get the sense that after this new moon, we're going to feel like it's New Year's. We're going to feel like the energy is really different. So if you need this mudra, it was receptivity. Your left hand is on the bottom, your right hand is on top, and it's up to you how far apart or close together your hands are. You can actually rub them together to allow the energy to flow within your hands before you actually do the mudra. And then with the hand on the bottom and the hand on the top, I can feel the energy as far away as this. My hands are sort of like warm and tingly now, and it's as though I have this like ball of energy that's in between my hands. So if you're doing this mudra, what you want to do is do it more often for less amounts of time. So you could do it only for 2 or 3 minutes, like 5 or 6 times during your day, whenever you are trying to bring in some tranquility, to bring in some calmness, to allow your digestion to be a little bit easier. So allowing this to be in front of your belly, allowing your shoulders to be down away from your ears and your spine to be tall. And then just breathe out anything that's not serving you. Allow yourself to inhale in what does serve you, so that you can get rid of the stuff that the retrogrades are helping you with, and you can call in that energy and that newness and what is it that I want to create for this new beginning month. So let me know if you have any comments and questions. Again, if this doesn't serve you, let me know, because I ended up seeing this mudra card that was blue, and I was like, oh, somebody needs that one too. So I'm not going to show it to you, because I'll do a separate video on that one. If you're feeling like, no, this wasn't the one I wanted, then let me know and I'll do the second video. So have a beautiful day wherever you are. Happy civic holiday to those of you in Canada on Mudra Monday, and namaste.